Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Coach Approach. Now today we're going to continue our series on the styles of coaching. Our past three videos we've talked about the yeller and the screamer, the know nothing but ball coach, and then the quiet and stoic style of coaching. Today we're going to talk about what it is to be a player's coach. Now, before we get started, if you've liked what you've seen so far in our past videos across the channel, we'd appreciate it if you go ahead and just go down there and click on that subscribe button, like the videos. It really goes a long way in helping out our channel get out there, and so these videos can be seen by those who want to get into coaching or those who are in coaching and looking to learn a few other things and use some things that can possibly help them. So let's get into our fourth video, the player's coach. Okay, so today I want to walk through some of the characteristics of a player's coach. Now, as I've said in the previous videos, I don't know everything, nor will I ever know everything, but I have experienced these styles of coaching either through my personal style or having worked with these types of coaches. Now, what is a player's coach? There's two definitions of it we're going to talk about today. One, I kind of like. It was defined by Carson Palmer. Those of you who may know Carson, he was the #1 draft pick by the Cincinnati Bengals, former Heisman Trophy winner out of Southern Cal. He basically said that, this type of coach is one that kind of empathizes with their players, okay? He or her will kind of know when to pull back the reins and take care of their players, both mentally and physically. So this is somebody who's probably played the game, knows what it's like to be out there going through games and practices at a high level and kind of wants to take care of their players. Now, it doesn't mean they're not going to hold them accountable. They are going to do that. They will put the screws to them when they need to, but they know when there's a fine line and they know when not to cross that line and to kind of calm things down and take care of their players and their needs. Now, as a player, this is the type of coach that I kind of want, somebody who's going to take care of me. If you do this with your players, they're going to love you and respect you for it and really understand sometimes why you're doing it. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll kind of think you're being soft on them, but you really aren't. But you have to explain to them that you're trying to get them to the end of the season and being able to play at the end of the season the way they played at the beginning of the season and try to keep fresh legs, as we say in the business. Okay, so a second definition of this type of coach, or a version of this type of coach, I should say, is someone who just wants to be the players' friends, okay? They're going to hang out. They're going to talk with them after practice. They're going to, maybe see them at school, be buddy-buddy. That's all well and good. I've talked about building relationships, but there is a fine line you take that to, okay? When it comes time to have to get on to them or something like that, all they're going to see you as is a friend and not a coach, and you're not going to have that player's full respect. Now, a couple situations will make it even bigger problems for you. One, when they get into trouble, you're going to sometimes make excuses for them and not hold them accountable as you should. Or when they do make that mistake off the field, you're going to try to cover for them. And that is a recipe for total disaster. Now, we all know as coaches, and I hope we all know, not each kid, is not the same. But you have to always hold those kids accountable to the same standards, all right? A kid is in a different type of situation, and there are certain times you have to treat kids differently based on that situation. But when it comes to holding them accountable and having to get on to them, you don't stray from that. You have a standard. You want to set that standard. But if you are being buddy-buddy with them and all they see you as is a friend, you're going to lose your team. And you're going to lose your position players. They're not going to respect you. And that, as a coach, is just disastrous. We do not want that version of a coach to a certain extent on our coaching staff. Build relationships. Just know how far to take that relationship and when to draw the line, because you're going to have to hold that player accountable at some point in time. And you want to have their respect and their understanding when you do it. Okay, so that wraps up our fourth video on coaching styles. Now, the first version or the first definition, I believe, is the type of coach you really want to be. The second version, you kind of walk a fine line. Build relationships, just know how far to build them and build it to where you still can hold kids accountable and you have their respect, okay? If you like what you've seen, like I said before, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on the video. Help us spread the word about coaching in high schools, in college, wherever. We need more coaches. We need more teachers. We all know that. So hit that subscribe button and like button. Come on back and watch more videos from us. I'll see you next time here on The Coach Approach.